Hey there, Rick with Fathom Academy again. Follow up to our equipment lecture from a few days ago. This is for David Fillingham from LinkedIn. He requested a little bit more information slash helmet stuff, if you will. His question being vented versus non-vented and certain brands, certain others. Now, I'm not going to really go out and diss one brand versus the other. I'm just going to talk about advantages and disadvantages to certain designs. Okay, so vented versus non-vented. Nowadays, you can get a non-vented helmet that is a lot lighter in construction than the older structural style non-vented helmets, which were not good for swiftwater rescue. I still like vented helmets just because if I'm using it for like a land-based operation or something like that, it's going to breathe a little bit better than one of the heavier helmets. I always recommend nowadays, if you're going to get a helmet, make sure it serves more than one purpose, which is why I like the Kask helmets, the Petzl helmets. They're good for water rescue, but they're also good for structural, cave, rope rescue, things of that nature. So, real quick, let's talk about putting your helmet on top of your head. This is one of my first swiftwater rescue helmets, and it's now a kind of a placeholder in my office. I always recommend you get a helmet that not only can tighten the chin strap, obviously, but also, if you'll look at this Kask helmet, has a ratchet back here to tighten things as well. The reason for this is one of the drawbacks, and I am not going to take off my hat. Nobody gets to see what my hair looks like because we're in a quarantine right now, and I have not seen my barber. So one of the drawbacks is with certain styles of helmets is you've got this on your head. If you don't have this tight to the point where it's like uncomfortable, when you enter the water, the helmet tends to slide forward over your head when you're kind of doing this, when you're trying to swim along, and you end up looking out of these two holes right here than you do looking forward. So the way to do it is once you get this helmet tight as you can on your thing, your noggin, is I take some black electrical tape and I basically just tie my chin strap into place where it doesn't come loose after that. You can still see the electrical tape from years and years and years ago. It's still sitting there. But it's kind of one of those things. Your swiftwater rescue equipment at some point needs to become like your hunting rifle. Once you get it set up to you, don't let anybody touch it. Don't let anybody borrow it. And that's the drawback about buying a gear cache for a department. It's not easy for individuals on the fly to set up their gear correctly and then hand it off to somebody else. So that's the big thing on the helmets is you want one that you can tighten to your skull and to your chin. And a lot of just these style helmets don't have that little ratchet in the back where you can actually do that. Can you make these work? Absolutely. I made this work. It just wasn't that comfortable after I got my chin strap done. Like a lot of times I'd be like, hey man, can you put my chin strap on? I'd be like, you putting on weight? Which did not help my self-esteem whatsoever. Okay. So, believe it or not, my favorite swiftwater helmet to this day is an older helmet by Petzl called their Vertec. And I love this helmet because this kind of clears up David's question of vented versus non-vented. Well, this puppy will actually go from vented, if I could get it pushed up, I haven't used this helmet in a while, to non-vented. So it'll do both. Really, really like this helmet. It's got a great ratchet system back here that's very, very doable. The chin strap gives you a lot of support. I love this helmet. And yeah, I didn't retire it on purpose, but Fathom said, hey, we'll give you a Kask helmet. So this is my rainy day helmet. It basically stays in the trunk of my car in case my friends say, hey, do you want to go caving? So last but not least, let's talk about helmet lights. So going back to the gear lecture the other day, I said I have two helmets, one for day and one for night. If it's a daytime operation, then I'm not going to jump in the water with a helmet with a bunch of extra weight on it. But if it is nighttime ops, then I've got two lights mounted here. Basically, two is one and one is none. Again, if you use this, I don't care if it's just for a simple training exercise or a full night operation, take your batteries out, get rid of them. Always have fresh batteries in there for the next one. Second thing, Leave your battery compartments open and let them dry fully before you put batteries back in there. If not, the moisture and everything after you seal that compartment, if it's still in there, it's going to corrode your leads, corrode your batteries, and basically you got a useless light. So the Fox Fury, I love this light. It's got a lot of adjustable modes on it, and also beats having a silent stick on the back of your helmet. You got a little blinky that lets you know you're back there. And I will say for $35, I'm not sure you can even get this light anymore unless you contact, we're drawing a blank, Princeton Tech directly. But this is the Princeton Tech Quad. You used to get these at like REI or direct, but they were like $30, and I still think this is one of the better helmet lights that was ever designed, especially for the money. So, one last thing. Never, ever, ever trust just the clips. I'm going to show you on this Petzl helmet, just the clips to hold your lights in place. You'll notice there's some holes in this Petzl that I drilled aftermarket. These are for zip ties. Those are what hold your lights in place. If you just strap your light into here, jump into moving water, it's going to pop right out of there. And depending on how much you spend on your light, that's, you know, how likely it is it's going to pop out. I hope it's answered David's questions. If not, or if anybody else has any other questions, please contact me and let me know. It's r.cummins, C-U-M-M-I-N-S, @fathomacademy.com. And hey, find Fathom Academy on Facebook. Give us a like. Find us on LinkedIn. Give us a like. Find me on Facebook. Give me a like. I don't require it that much, but the Fathom Academy would be nice. Hang in there, guys. I know there's a quarantine, but we are hoping to open the doors back up May 30th, and we got a lot of training to do in a short amount of time because flood season is getting ready to start, which is why I am doing this class in my rocking chair, because it has literally been pouring rain here all day long. So take care, stay safe, stay in touch. Thank you.